Toni Storm has returned, but the timeless Toni Storm gimmick is dead. Welcome to Allison Analysis. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, and here are my 5 key findings. In at number 5, I'm hyped for the 4-way at World's End. It feels like absolutely ages since the last time we saw a 4-way for a World Championship in either AEW or WWE. I mean, the last one that I think I can remember is in 2023 when we had the 4 Pillars match, but since then I can't remember any, and quite honestly, I've missed them. I'm a big fan of 4-way matches, and I think Moxley, Hangman Page, Jay White, and Orange Cassidy are going to put an absolute banger on December 28th at World's End. Not only do all 4 men have issues with each other, but they also all have great in-ring chemistry together based on what we've seen in the past. So I do think this is a recipe, at least on paper, for success. And the 4-way on this pay-per-view card specifically, I think is a really good idea. And the reason for that is, of course, the Continental Classic semi-finals and final are at World's End. So there's already at least 3 singles matches. There will definitely be more added as well. So doing a 4-way, I think, will mix it up quite well. And the only negative I have to say about this is it is quite obvious that Jon Moxley is going to win, but at the same time I think no matter who you put him against on this show, people wouldn't have believed that he's dropping the title because it's very simply just too early on in his reign. In at number 4, either WWE or AEW need to sign Mina Shirakawa as soon as her Stardom deal expires. Shirakawa is an extremely rare example of a Japanese wrestler who I think works better in America compared to Japan. She's taken to America's sports entertainment style so well, so much so that when I go and then watch her stuff in Japan, she feels like way less of a star there in comparison. She does a brilliant job in America of getting the crowd into matches, getting the crowd involved, but at the same time putting on banger after banger. And I have absolutely no idea when her actual Stardom deal does expire, but when it does expire, both AEW and WWE need to go in for her, no doubt about it. And I definitely do think that AEW have the advantage when it comes to signing her, because of course they already have that relationship and they do book her quite well, so perhaps there's some loyalty there. But at the same time, she knows a lot of people in WWE. She's named a lot of dream matches in WWE. So if they do make a good offer, perhaps a bidding war even, then who knows where she could go between the two. But wherever she does end up, the future is bright for Mina Shirakawa. In at number 3, we are finally getting Adam Cole versus MJF. It is official, at World's End, exactly a year after Adam Cole originally turned on MJF, we are finally getting the singles match between the two, and I'm excited for the match, but honestly, I'm more excited for this storyline to just end. I say it every single week, and I'm not going to go on a rant about it, right? But we all know at this point the story makes no sense. It's dragged on too long. Obviously, injuries have ruined it, as well as the booking as well. It's been all over the place, and both guys I'm a huge fan of, so I just want them to move on to bigger and better things. But what I was interested in last night was the fact that Kyle O'Reilly did not forgive Adam Cole after the match. He didn't shake his hand, he went to the back, and he was in a mood. So that is something which we could, I guess, see more of after World's End. Could we see a proper Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly feud? After all, last night their match ended in a roll-up. It wasn't a proper finish, so that definitely does leave the door open for another match down the line. Perhaps a face Adam Cole versus a heel Kyle O'Reilly. I could see that happening, and I would love to see these two face off again, because every single time, no matter what promotion it's in, these two have a banger together. Before we go any further, if you could like and subscribe, that would be massively appreciated. Here at Wrestling Republic, we create between 5 to 10 free videos every single week, and in addition to that, we do a live daily stream every single day, 8 PM UK, 3 PM Eastern, 12 PM Pacific. It's all completely free. You can comment along throughout, and we read out your thoughts as well. But yeah, just please like and subscribe, guys, and leave a comment if you can as well. We really do appreciate it. In at number 2, is Ricochet turning heel? One of the most interesting things coming out of last night's episode of AEW Dynamite was the fact that Ricochet happily used the exposed turnbuckle to beat Brody King, and as soon as he did, well, the crowd turned on him. The boos were deafening, and he basically went for a full-on heel for about 30 seconds. After the match, he went back babyface again and he got some cheers, but is he actually turning heel? I mean, earlier on in the night, we saw him pull out an MVP card, and that's what really got me excited, because I've been saying it for ages, but I really want to see him in the Hurt Syndicate. I think it would be a perfect fit for him. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The style Ricochet wrestles, I kind of worry that long term he's going to get lost in the shuffle in AEW, because a lot of people wrestle that style. But if you add a little bit of cockiness to his character, which we know he can do, and put him in the Hurt Syndicate, well, I think that will make him stand out enough, and he could go on the run of his career. And in addition to that, I would just love to see the tag team of him and Shelton Benjamin after the Continental Classic. I mean, that team I would love. And in at number 1, timeless Toni Storm is dead. Last night, Toni Storm returned to AEW by confronting Mariah May after the main event match, but she notably did not have her timeless gimmick. She returned to her old gimmick, and this has divided a lot of fans online. And honestly, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. On one hand, they undoubtedly did leave money on the table with a timeless gimmick. People were not sick of it yet. There was a lot more you could have done. On the other hand, the fact that she was written off TV for so long meant that the gimmick change did feel natural. It didn't feel out of nowhere, and it did make sense. So in that way of thinking, I mean, it kind of does make sense. And the fact that we never got sick of the timeless gimmick means that we will remember it fondly. So perhaps that was something which she was scared of. She was scared that fans would get sick of it, so that's why they've decided to make the change now. The only real issue I had with this segment was the fact that the camera kept cutting to Thunder Rosa holding those signs. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Thunder Rosa, and the signs during the match I actually found really funny and I thought worked really well. But it was just once Toni Storm showed up, the fact that they kept cutting the camera to her with a different sign, it kind of felt distracting, and it's definitely more of a production thing than actually on Thunder Rosa's behalf, because what Thunder Rosa was doing was funny, but they just didn't need to cut the camera to her quite that many times. Maybe once, but it was like 3 or 4 times. Keep the camera on Toni Storm and Mariah May. For now, that's the story. That needs to be the focus. But overall, I honestly thought this was the best episode of AEW Dynamite in months and months. Definitely since the summer at most recent, I guess, but it was honestly a fantastic episode. I enjoyed it from start until finish. I didn't have many issues. Women main evented the show, which I think is awesome. As always, I would have preferred more women's in-ring action as well, but hey, for the most part, I really did enjoy this show. But what did you guys think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. There won't be an episode of Allison Analysis for SmackDown this week because I am away on Saturday, but I will be back on Sunday to talk to you guys about Saturday night's main event, so I hope to see you guys then. Peace!